Afternoon, everybody. Can you see me? And hopefully you can see me. I've not done one of these before, so let's just see if I can get the comments up. Right, okay, here we go. So, and right, my name is Tanya, and I have started this Facebook group, Sewcial, as a somewhere for you to come to get advice, build a community with fellow sewers and people who are interested in learning to sew or getting back into sewing. So hopefully that you'll find it really useful. I can be found over on my website, which is sewshegrows.co.uk, and on there we've got blogging information, so articles on various topics like how to use a sewing machine and things like that. And I've got it all blank. So anyway, you can tell this is live. So what I wanted to do today was thank you all for joining this group and being part of the community as we start to build it. I'm really hoping that this grows into something which everybody finds really useful. So thank you for that. A little bit more about me. I do work full time, so I sew in my spare time. So that's weekends usually, not after work during the week. So I am fairly familiar with the how to be creative in your spare time when you do have other commitments like work and family and things like that. So that's who I am, and that's how I sort of fit everything around my day job. So what do I want this group to be? So somewhere for you to come to, as I've said, somewhere that offers you the ability to ask questions, and no question is ever a silly question. I'm sure that for every question that's asked, there will be at least one other person who would really like to know the answer to that question. So that's what. So what I'm going to do is I will have some Talk to Tanya posts go out in the week. So it's probably going to be on a Wednesday, so it'll be midweek. And what I want you to do in that is to any questions that you've got, put in the Talk to Tanya post in the comments below that, and then every Saturday at 2 o'clock I would do a Saturday social, as we are now, Facebook Live in this group, to answer the questions that have been asked. So it gives me like a couple of time to get the answers together and make sure that everybody has the answer that they need and able to progress their projects or whatever. So look out for the Talk to Tanya posts, and then the answers will be given on the following Saturday. So you've got a few days to think about, like, you know, what you want to ask to get started for next week. And don't worry if you can't be there live with me on a Saturday. The Facebook Lives will always be there for you to refer back to, and then I can refer to them as well in posts and say what we've covered. And if some topics I may then do an article about in my blogging on the website as well, to give you a bit more full information. So hopefully that will answer questions. So that will be Wednesday will be the Talk to Tanya post going out for you to put your questions in the comments, and then Saturdays will be the Saturday socials. So this is going to be hopefully a really supportive and positive community for everybody. So that's what I'm really hoping that we can get out of this and just help each other along. So last year, before we went into lockdown 1, I ran a workshop called Dust Off Your Sewing Machine. I had 5 lovely ladies come to join me for that day, and actually it was just an afternoon, just a 3-hour afternoon, and we had people who hadn't taken their sewing machine out of the box even. And other ladies who bought the vintage machines that had been used by their grandmothers, which I think is just amazing that's been able to stay in the family, and you've got such machines like that. So we had a real selection of modern machines and slightly older machines, everybody was sewing, everybody was having fun, lots of tea, coffee and cake, obviously, at sewing events. And everybody went home with a project that they'd made that day and with materials that they could then go on and make other sizes. So it was a fabric tray that we'd made, and they could make it in 3 sizes, and everything that they needed was in the kit that is included in the course for them to take away. Obviously, we know that COVID happened and in-person workshops just stopped. They just weren't able to take place. We are hoping that that can change this year, especially in the second half of this year. So we will be getting back to in-person workshops. In the meantime, I'm going to start putting online courses available. So it'll be the same sort of subjects, the same sort of like dust off your sewing machine for absolute beginners, and then there'll be tips and techniques videos like how to put in zips and things like that. Again, if there's anything particular that you want to know about, let me know, because then I can probably build a course around it for you. So that's what we aim to do in the first half of the year. So in the next like 3 to 6 months, those courses will be available, and they'll probably be available through the website. So it can cover things like home decor, and so quilts and cushions and curtains, things like that, or dressmaking as well. It's like how to read a pattern, how to transfer pattern markings, and how to put in darts and things like that. And of course the zips, which you would have learned from the zip technique workshop. So I thought that I would just show you the sorts of things that I'm working on at the moment and that I've completed. So behind me you can see the dress. Now I made this in 2015, and it was made to wear to a friend's wedding, and you've probably noticed that it's got 2 different fabrics. So it's from a lady called Nell Watmore. It's a fabric design that she had called the Flower Garden, and we've got a small print and a large print, and there's a good reason why there's 2 different fabrics, and that's because I went wrong. Well, I didn't actually go wrong. I was following the pattern, and I followed the instructions that were on that pattern. I then found out that those instructions and the amount of material that I told you that you needed was actually incorrect, and you needed another ½ metre, but that was found out like a couple of years later. So I'd ordered the fabric that I wanted to make the dress, which was going to be the larger print, cut out the pieces, and found out that I didn't have enough fabric. So I quickly went and ordered some more fabric. The large print was out, but the small print was still there, and I thought, as it's the same designer and from the same collection, they're going to go, because the colours are going to be the same. So that's why we have a dress of 2 halves. So it was a really happy mistake, and that every time I'm now going to make that dress, I will probably look to make it in 2 coordinating fabrics, just because I love the effect of it, and it's something that nobody else will have. So you've got such flexibility for things like that. So another project that I'm currently working on is something that's slightly different for me, because it's not machine, but it's by my friend Alex Law, who owns an embroidery company called Ilara Embroidery, and it's a kit that she's put together. She's got designs on Etsy, and it's called the Hummingbird, so hopefully you can see that, and I just think that the colours in that are amazing. So I've made a start, so I've got it in my embroidery hoop, and that's what I've done. So I've transferred the pattern onto the fabric, and I've currently just done, I don't think we can see it in the light properly, 1 little bit of stitching. So Alex, sorry, I do need to do a bit more, but I've made a start, and it's all about making starts. So another project that I've got on the go is a block of the month with a quilt, an Australian quilter called Sewcial, and it's called Rainy Days and Sun Rays. So here is a picture of she's done for one. So can you see that? Great. But how that works is that you choose the fabric. So you get the plain sheet, which you then colour in, or you can play around on on an app called Recolor. So I'm doing it in purples, yellows, greys and whites. So I've started to collect the fabric that I need. So here we are. So we've got some greys, whites and the yellows. And this is a fabric by Macawa called Spray Time, which I love just because of the different colours, different texture and fading and the brighter colour. So that's the fabrics that I'm going to be using. So you will see that develop over time. And other things that I've done are greetings cards using free motion embroidery. So I did a collection called Summer Garden. So we had a blue one, a pink one, a yellow one and a green one, and these were sold at craft fairs and places like that and online. So I've got a mixture of skills that I use, but all revolving around the sewing machine. So hopefully that's told you a bit more about you. Sorry, you've told you a bit more about me. And then something else that I'm working on this year is I've joined a membership called the DPL Atelier, and that's going to guide me to designing clothes that suit me and my shape. So I don't have to shop in the high street. I can alter patterns that I find, or I can just draft new patterns for me. Now, not quite at that stage yet, all very beginning, but it's really exciting to start that journey and to, again, know that I can get fabrics, make myself outfits that nobody else can have this exactly the same. So sewing does open up so many opportunities for you, where if you want to alter clothes, or if you like shopping in charity shops, you maybe want to sort of like alter the clothes that fit you, or play around with them and make them like really, really modern and really different. So there you go. So hopefully that has enabled you to find out a little bit more about me. I would love to find out more about you, so and what you're currently working on, what your fears are, if you've got any limiting beliefs about getting started in sewing, and what your experience is. Tell me again in the comments below, and so I can get to know more about you. So that's it for this first Saturday Social. I hope it's sort of like got you a bit inspired to be brave, to help you to take the fear out of sewing, and that you will get a lot out of this community. So bye for now. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thank you everybody for joining me. Bye.